Patrick here, have Cheetah Will View. Glad to be here. It's a little nippy here in southeastern Michigan. But me and the Cheetah, we are back for another Dollar Tree theater review. That's right. We are cranking them out. Yeah, first of all, we're gonna say thanks to everybody who came out to support the Scooby Doo review. Chill Out Scooby Doo happened to be a pretty fun review, and I got a lot of people that came out and supported it. I appreciate that so much. It's really nice to see. Um, so where else do we do? Right? What else can we do? Well, for one thing, we're gonna stay in animation. We've had some fun there, and so we thought we'd stay there. We're not going to do another Scooby Doo, but we are going to stay with Warner Brothers. There you go. That should give you a clue where we're going. We're going to stay in Warner Brothers, and the movie that we're going to be talking about came out in 2008. Now I got this movie from my friend Jerome, who left it to me, and it's a movie I have never seen before, and I know I have a lot of DC stuff too, right? You would think that I would have Justice League: The New Frontier, but I didn't. Now I do. So the New Frontier came out in 2008. It is based on the 2004 six-issue special series by DC that was written and drawn by Darwyn Cooke. And it is set in the Golden Age meets the Silver Age of DC, the world of DC. Um, it's an Elseworld story, so all the origins of the Justice League are happening during the 40s and the late 40s and early 50s. Um, we have all the Golden Age heroes: Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and they meet the Silver Age heroes, which include Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, the Flash, and Green Arrow, and others. And so, yeah. So the story starts off really, really interesting. Right off the bat, you know this is gonna be. This is definitely not gonna. It's not your kid's average story. In fact, this movie is actually rated PG-13, and it shows off with a scientist a writer who figures out that the Earth is in dire danger of a creature called the Center. He knows it's so bad. He knows it's happening that he's so scared that he writes this book and then he proceeds to kill himself. And that starts the movie. Um, so the movie itself is really really good. Um, as far as it being following the book. We meet all the heroes in the story, and then right off the bat, this is one thing I have to say that this, even though the primary heroes, we see all the primary heroes of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. This book is really about the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and John Jones, the Martian Manhunter. It really is their movie, and we meet all the characters. We meet including Ace Morgan and Hal Jordan, who are combat pilots in Korea. And the war ends in 1953 with a stalemate. And during the last action of the war, Hal Jordan gets shot down. Now he, by nature, is a pacifist. He's a great fighter pilot, but he's not interested in taking lives. He wants to be an astronaut. He wants to go into space. So he's not really into killing anybody if he can help it. Um, but he gets shot down. He gets shot down on the last day of the war, and he is attacked by a North Korean soldier, and he is forced to take a life in self-defense. And he is not. He doesn't do too well with that. We'll see Hal Jordan later on, along with Ace Morgan. Then we find out that another scientist has transported an alien from Mars to Earth. But when he does, he teleports him there, he's not ready for how John Jones looks, and he dies of a heart attack. John Jones, he proceeds to. He's a shapeshifter, so he's able to assume the science is his identity, and he blends in with society. He lives in Gotham, and we meet the Flash, who is dating a reporter Iris West, and while he's in Metropolis, his girlfriend Iris West is covering, interviewing celebrities in Las Vegas. Well, Captain Cold comes in and he proceeds to shoot Iris with a cold ray gun, and the Flash races over from from country to country, from the end of the country to the other country, and he saves Iris and he defeats Captain Cold. And then we find out that now we're meeting all the different characters. We see that Wonder Woman is on Themyscira, and she's fighting off a potential coup. One of the Amazon warriors feels like she should be the leader, and she even manages to cut Diana, and that's not doing. That's she's not too happy about that. We meet Superman when he's in Korea, and he sees Diana, and he sees that Diana has led a group of women into taking over a village from the North Koreans and killing every North Korean male in the village, because they themselves killed all the women's men, and so the women just returned the favor, and Wonder Woman encouraged that. Superman's taken aback, but when Diana pretty much tells him to get the hell out, he leaves. So we see all these different characters come together. We see characters like King Faraday, Colonel Flag, and they're all playing their parts in this film. And basically, what it is to stop the Center. And the Center is an incredibly powerful psychic being, and it's starting to cause the people of Earth to fall into occult worship with them. See, that sounds sort of familiar, doesn't it? And the 50s were the era of Joe McCarthy, and this movie does not discount that. In fact, it's commented on in the movie about how people are not being trusted, and why are you wearing red, and if you're how do we know you're even American, and they certainly as hell wouldn't accept John Jones if he came out as who he really was. Remember, this was written in 2004. The movie came out in 2008. It's 2023, and this book is incredibly relevant, as most comic books are. So we also see the origin of Green Lantern. Hal Jordan is called by Abin Sur and is given the ring, and basically Abin Sur says he came to help Earth fight the Center, but when Hal Jordan went up to space with Colonel Flag, Colonel Flag inadvertently the rocket was actually they were going to Mars. The rocket was damaged. It was loaded with weapons that no one told Hal Jordan about. He's going to try to bring the rocket into land, but it's too dangerous. And then when Superman comes by and he rescues Hal Jordan, but Colonel Flag detonates the explosives on the rocket, and that backlash caught Abin Sur, and he crashes and he lays dying because of that. The dominoes really fall really well in this movie. For every action there is a reaction. It's really well done. It's very well written and incredibly well acted. And so we see Green Lantern become Green Lantern for the first time. And they all go to fight the Center, and it looks like Superman's going to lead the way like he always does, but he's knocked out in the first 5 minutes of the fight. He looks like he gets killed. So it's up to everybody else to take on this massive being, and so they do. Green Lantern, the Atom, the Flash, the Challengers of the Unknown, the Blackhawks. I mean, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Adam Strange. There's just a bunch of and Wonder Woman. There's a bunch of heroes that are battling a potential planet killer without the normal, Superman. Let's rally around Superman. Well, he's out, so it's up to them. and it's pretty badass. They used a combination of their powers along with the science of Ray Palmer's atom, and they defeat the center, and Hal Jordan leads the way. And we see, and people forget this, people sleep on this, but Green Lantern is an incredibly powerful superhero for DC. Now I know it all depends who draws him and who voices him and who and whatnot, but as a fact, the fact of the matter is that Green Lantern is an incredibly strong. Hal Jordan, especially, is an incredibly strong superhero. Um, we got to remember too. Somebody might not remember this, but Hal Jordan became the Spectre after a coastal city was wiped out after the Doomsday death of Superman. Um, he knows how to wield the ring better than anybody else from Sector 2814, if not for the Green Lantern Corps. And this is his first mission, and him and his team rallied to defeat the center. Um, okay, so what did I think of the movie? Well, of course you already know what I'm thinking about the movie because I'm talking about it still. But this is one of my favorite movies, DC movies. I really wasn't quite enamored with this. I thought the voice casting was excellent. Of course, I would because this movie came out in 2008, which means that the mighty Andrea Romano was doing the voice direction, and she's the best that there was, and there probably ever will be. She can put together a cast for an animated movie better than anybody else. So the talent that she grabbed for this movie reads as thus. And this really included a beautiful speech by John F. Kennedy, which they included at the end of the movie. So John F. Kennedy actually is part of this movie. He gives a speech at the end. But the voice actors that she got for this movie include Jeremy Sisto as Batman, David Boreanaz as Hal Jordan, Miguel Ferrer as John Jones, Neil Patrick Harris as the Flash. Wouldn't even recognize him. You won't even recognize his voice. John Hurd as Ace Morgan from the Challengers of the Unknown. Lucy Lawless as Diana Prince, and you'll recognize her right away. It's just, I have to be honest with you. When I heard her speak as Wonder Woman, all I could see was Xenia. She was perfect casting, right? Um, Man, if Wonder Woman had been made 20 years ago, instead of, I definitely would have loved to see Lucy Lawless as Wonder Woman. I would have killed to see that. Um, Kyle MacLachlan is Superman. And Phil Morris played King Faraday. Great character. Kyra Cedric as Lois Lane. Brooke Shields, really nice turn as she plays Carol Ferris. She really, really stood out here. Yeah, Brooke Shields. Has turned into an amazing an actress as she's gotten older. She does really good work, either voice acting or in front of the camera. She's really good. Of course, this, like I said, this movie was directed by Joe. Let's see if I could say his name without killing it. Um, it was directed by let's see, Dave Bullock, and the story itself was written by Darwyn Cooke based off his books, off his comic book. Sadly, Darwyn Cooke is no longer with us. He died in 2016 of cancer. So he was gone. Um, I didn't realize that until I started doing the research for this review. Um, but overall, this is one of the, like I said, this is one of the funnest reviews, the funnest DC movies that I've watched. It had a lot of moments. Good, it has some humor, had a lot of humor, but it's not for the lighthearted. Um, Being an Elseworld story, it shows people dying in this, including well-known characters. They all don't make it out alive in this movie. Um, like I said, this movie came out. This movie is rated PG-13, and it's about 76 minutes. And there are a ton of special features, including a really great history of the Justice League, where its origins and where it was as far as 2008 went. Fantastic documentary. It's about 40 minutes, and it's so well done. Highly recommend this if you can get it. which I think you should have no problem at all. You should be able to get this on WarnerBrothers.com. You can probably get this at the archive. If I'm not mistaken, it's probably by now. It's going to probably be a Warner Brothers archive. If not, secondary markets, eBay, and or Amazon. All right, well, that's it for this Dollar Tree Theater of Justice League: The New Frontier. I hope I didn't ramble on. I guess I'll find out when I post this. All right, well, that's it for now. And if you like what you heard, if you have your own comments about the DC, the New Frontier, I'd love to hear your thoughts about the either the book series or and the film. And yeah, so on to the next one. And thanks for watching, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.